Hello guys, I'm in the woods again. It is like June 4th or 5th maybe. Just start of summer. Temperatures are like in the 60s. It actually got pretty cold last night. It was down to 40 degrees last night in the area. So I think a cold night, but a nice comfortable daytime temps. I don't think we have any rain forecasted really. So as you can see, I am on a river in a kayak here, and I'm not alone. I got my brother Steve with us. So our plan here is to paddle down this river, set up a camp about 10 miles down, spend the night, wake up in the morning and paddle out. So we dropped off, so we got two vehicles. We dropped off one at the pickup point and we just drove to the launch point. Just got in the water. A little bit of a late start this morning. We're on the water now. It's just before 10. But we got nice long days right now, so we got plenty of time. So we're gonna do some paddling, some trout fishing, try to get some trout out of the stream, and do some camping. So that's it. That's all you need to know. I had a deer right here. It was standing right like on that island.
What's that?
There was a deer standing like right on that island.
Oh, there was?
And then as I came up, he went across.
Nice.
It was pretty deep. It was up to like most of its body. Okay, so I just beached. A lot of places on this river get shallow, and my boat hit the bottom and I was stuck, right? So I got out. Usually you can kind of scoot your way out of it. I just decided to get up, stand up in the water and kind of situate. So we've only gone, we've only been on the river for 10 minutes. So I kind of got out and I started messing with all my gear. So, right, I got all my stuff. Right, so I got my stuff situated a little bit. So I can show you quick what I got. So the net's up front. Underneath the front I have my backpack, and then I have another bag down in there. And then in the back I have a big dry bag with my sleeping bag and the tent and the sleeping pad stuff. And then behind there I got just a bunch of loose stuff. Yeah, so I'm just standing in the water right now, but it was good because it's you always gotta mess with your gear a little bit, get organized and everything. So I think I'm better here now, so I'm gonna keep paddling down the river. All aboard the river tour. So here on your left, you will see we have alder thickets. I do believe the most of the river all over grows over the river with alder like this. it gets really thick. You can see the mixed forest here on your right. All different types of hardwoods and conifers, pine, spruce, fir. But most of the shoreline is this alder thicket. And you can see how muddy this bank is. It's just a sloppy, muddy mess. It's not solid ground in the least. The beautiful cliffs in front of us. Nice and steep. Oh, and I forgot to mention that there's lots of cedar. Those trees right there are cedar. Okay guys, I'll try to demonstrate a little bit of steering the kayak. So the river just goes, right, the river's flowing. Right now I'm basically just going with the flow. I'm not really like paddling to move myself forward. I'm actually paddling just to kind of steer. And it's kind of tough because right now you see I'm kind of turning, I'm going this way, and if I want to go right, how do I describe this? You need to like paddle, you paddle to go straight, but you're constantly like turning your boat, so it's a constant correction back and forth, back and forth. And if I'm turning too much, it's almost better to drag the paddle to do a sharp turn. If I'm kind of going like this, simply just paddling on the right doesn't really turn you left as well as dragging. So a lot of it's just a little paddle, and then drag to correct. Couple paddles, drag to correct, and that's it. And if you don't paddle, if you're trying to like fish or whatever, you see how fast, look at, I'm already turning. I'm turning sideways, I'm going straight for this tree, right? And it's been like 5 seconds and I'm already in danger. So you can see how difficult it is. I have a really hard time. I have a really hard time trying to do anything because I'm almost immediately like crashing into the shore and going off track. Like if I'm trying to mess with the GPS or the map or the camera or trying to fish. This has got to be it.
These are the pines I was telling you about. I remember a lot of big
Oh. Alright guys, this is a slough here, a spring-fed slough feeding into the river. We're going to try to get the boats in here when we were talking about the trip, but I don't know if that's easy or there's much to do with the boat in here, but we'll take a look around at the very least. Okay, so this is the main part of the slough. It's a spring-fed feature, which means it's groundwater seeps up from the earth and feeds this. That's what spring-fed means. It's really mucky. The water's very clear, but it's all muck. It's just, you can see how loose and soft the sediment is. So we don't think there's going to be any fish held in this. Alright, we're back on the river. Yeah, we walked up the slough a little bit there and basically got a good look at the whole thing. It's pretty shallow muck. Not worth fishing. A lot of cedars and stuff on the shores, all dead. Pretty tough walking too, just even on the land side of it, it was bugs are all over me again. Put some sunscreen on a little bit ago, but now it's clouding over. Bottoming out a lot. I think that's a kingfisher. That was cool. So that little duck with a bunch of babies was in front of me, and they were just going straight down the river in front of me, so I went to the side of the river so they could kind of stay off to one side instead of just keep going in front of me. And then the mom took off, and the baby stayed behind, and the mom is like squawking at me right here, trying to distract me. I think it's a wood duck, but I don't know. It's not a mallard. Oh, it's coming at me. Alright, we're just taking a break here. We've been paddling down the river. I think we're 4 miles or 5 miles down so far. It's probably like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Stretching the legs out. We're starting to get to a better fish habitat. The river's more rocky. It's starting to move faster too. It was pretty slow and mucky and mud for the stretch before this.
Keeper too. That's definitely a keeper. That's
Sweet.
A beautiful
Nice
trout.
catch.
Look at the color on that guy. See the stripes and the fins and the orange?
Haha. Don't lose it.
Maybe just throw him right in the cooler because I do have ice in there. Or should I put him on a stringer? String him up.
Whatever you want. I don't know. What the hell do I know?
So I'll be fly fishing a little later. So the plan is to flip some stones over and see what kind of bugs we can find underwater to help identify what type of bug I want to use on the fly rod. These little guys right here. So kind of a dark black or brown color. It's got a little V butt. See how small they are? So the trout will eat those. So I'm going to find something that kind of looks like that and just try to bounce it off the bottom.
Sweet. Dark.
More of the same here. I'm not sure what those things are called, but
Alright, we're coming up on the cliffs that I was at in my last video. It's rock formation. It's just vertical cliffs along the river right here. Pretty cool area. The river's starting to pick up. There was a good sized stream that just fed into it half a mile back. The river's moving faster now. It's still only, the depth is still only, you know, like 2 feet. But it's wider and it's moving faster. So that's the cliffs in front of us. And here's the fields I was walking through. And right here's where I got yelled at by a beaver. There you go. Pretty cool. This is where I was. This is where I was fishing on this right here. And that was where I was walking, and this is a
spot to fish something like that.
This is a big eddy, or this is where the cliffs start, the state natural area cliffs.
I lost it.
What?
I had a nice trout on and I lost it.
Oh.
My treble hook that has 2 rods. The hook snapped off. There's only 1 hook on it.
Oh.
I don't know if that happened before when I was just catching.
Yeah.
He was meaty. I could tell right away. It was just hard because I was moving so fast.
Hey there. Didn't see ya. Oh, I would have hit that rock.
think this is it?
I don't know, but we're really close, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't want to just overshoot it. I'd rather short shoot it. Oh.
Sounds like a real deal.
Yeah, that looks. Good luck. Maybe? Can you get to shore? Alright, we're looking for a campground. Alright, we found our campsite. It's just marked as a primitive campsite on the map. And all it is just a little ring of rocks for a fire pit. That's it. There's nothing here. It's kind of steep coming up to the river. The river's pretty deep and moving pretty good. It's not necessarily the best river bottom for trout from what we can tell, but we don't know. We're gonna try it. So we're just gonna set up camp a little bit here, and that's it. It's gonna burn really fast. You gotta get your twigs on it. So what did you use to start that?
Used an old dry cattail I found over in the slough that we stopped at first. I grabbed it and just put it in my pocket. It tended to smolder. It didn't tend to actually flame, but it kept smoking, so it gave me a decent base. And using a bunch of dead pine needles on top of that, it eventually just took off. And kind of had the stage 1, 2, 3 sticks, you know, growing in size, just to help build it right away, so went pretty good. It was just kind of smoldering, and I was lightly blowing on it, and I threw some sticks on it, like you said, just to get a little bit of wood to start catch. But once it kind of started going just a little bit, what basically worked was when it got a spark on the cattail, not on the top, but when it kind of went towards the bottom, it burned up. Yeah, okay. So, and as soon as that happened, I hit it with those pine needles and it just boom. Maybe I'll start setting that up. So we got a good tarp. hang the tarp first and then put the tent underneath?
Yeah.
We do a string of rope? Yeah. Wait, how's this wind? Trees. I don't see any widowmakers. Do you? And this popple and this cedar are alive.
No, this all looks good.
I agree.
So we're gonna do the same thing here. Put this there. Alright guys, we got camp set up here. Just took a nice long break, relaxed, ate a little bit of our food, boiled up some water, and starting to fish. So brother Steve is already out with his fly rod. I'm just getting set to head out into the river. Walking down the trail to see if I can find him. Might be on the other side of this island. Yeah, he is. I got him. I was recording. Check it out. That's a big one. I changed my lure. Coming to shore. Nice, another beautiful trout. Holy cow. He's off. He's off the hook already. You want salt and pepper?
No.
Butter?
No, I don't think we need any of that.
So just lemon. And wrap them in tin foil.
That's all you need. Stuff them right in the guts.
Alright, here's the dinner we got. The fish, green beans, and brown rice.
And dessert.
With the fork of approval, that's dinner. Rice, trout, green beans.
Trout for 2. So you can eat the skin and everything, but right here, if you kind of come in like this from the spine and flip it up, watch me, and then you'll see it saves the ribs here. The ribs, you peeled it right off the ribs. That's a fresh piece. Oh, fantastic! Oh my God, that's so good. So basically, the whole fish you want to eat from the spine down. You peel it off.
Oh, that's really good.
That's unbelievably good.
Good morning, guys. Weather's good. We just hung out by the campfire last night and enjoyed the evening. Very nice. We had a little bit of a sprinkle very briefly. We got dinner all cleaned up and not much else, just hung out. Very, very relaxing. So this morning now we gotta paddle out of here. I don't know exactly how far it is, but I think it's like 5 or 6 miles to back to our other vehicle where there's a road that intersects the river. Yeah, and that's it. And then I gotta get some bug spray on because there's mosquitoes everywhere.
Nice to smell the campfire though. The issue with that GPS that I'm having is it doesn't stay on the thing, and when I switch it so it doesn't keep north. Like I don't want it to, it knows I'm moving, so it points up on the screen rather than the direction I'm going. Then it makes it tricky for me to zoom on and everything.
You have it? I'm gonna do that.
I don't have it in there.
It doesn't do that.
What's that?
I don't think mine does that. Which would tell me that's the setting. All right, we're on the river again. Beautiful sunny morning, a little bit of cloud, not much. It's warm. It's not too hot though. We just started this morning after we ate some bacon. We got about 7 miles to get out. I looked it up. So, there's a couple rapids and stuff, class 1s and 2s. I think there's only one class 2. But the river is pretty good right now. It's a little bit lower. We haven't had much rain in about a week. So it's not moving super fast and it's not super high. So the rapids are really no big deal. I mean, it's only 2 feet deep right here where I am. So either way, pretty sure you can stand up almost anywhere. Sounded like it was gonna be fun, but you kind of just float right through it, eh? Yeah, that's what I figured. Here's a bridge crossing. There's a road here. Just an old gravel forest road, not a highway or anything. Pretty little bridge. Cool. You'll see it here as I go through. There. All right, let's talk about paddling this kayak down a canoe. So, it's pretty tough. All right, so, right, you got 2 blades, you paddle like this. But the thing is, the current, so see now I'm turning in the water. My boat is like sideways. And with the canoe, if you want to turn right, you paddle on the left. But here I'm paddling on the left, and a lot of times it doesn't work. You just keep turning. It's like not enough. There's too many forces at play, I think, is what's going on, to just simply, oh, if you want to turn that way, you paddle here. If you want to turn that way, you paddle there. Because as soon as you start turning, then there's like a feedback loop where the current now is pushing against the side of the boat, which is more force, more friction, and then it keeps pushing and it keeps pushing. And the more you turn, the more it pushes. So I think that's part of it. So mainly what I do, right, I try to paddle like this. If I start turning, I'll do a couple extra on one side to try to get me righted. But a lot of times that's not enough. See, like right now I'm paddling on my right. I'm not turning at all. There, I finally turned on that paddle. But, so what a lot of times you can do is you put the blade down in the water. Like not paddle. I know you guys can't see very good, but this is the best I can do right now with the camera. But you just put the paddle down and basically drag against the water, and that'll turn you pretty sharply. And another thing I've been trying to do, is if I'm kind of crooked, I try to like reach out with the, like basically reach out and kind of pull towards me. Or even reach way out and then do a paddle, because then it's like more leverage or whatever, because you're further out. It's more torque on from your paddle, from when you pull your paddle stroke. And then when you get into rapids, you really have to focus on the water, because you can't. It's not always super obvious what's going on, and by the time you see it, like it's right in front of you and you know exactly what you're looking at, then like it's pretty hard to course correct. Like if I want to move 5 feet to the left, I don't go left, I go forward and left. Like there's no just moving over. You're going straight either way. And yeah, so with rapids and boulders and stuff, you really gotta kind of be on the lookout. And riffles, we get a lot of riffles on this river, which is just like a little bit of ripply water, I would call it. But usually in on this river, it gets really shallow there. So you gotta try to like which shallow enough to where your boat will hit and you'll be like beached. So you got to kind of watch that and like try to judge where it might be deeper and where it might be shallow. It's pretty tough to do that. But yeah, and then when you're getting up on big boulders, you got to kind of try to avoid them, but a lot of times you're going right at them. And what you can do is like how I just turned, and then I'll drag hard and I'll kick my tail out. You can do that basically, like you kind of come up on it, and so if this is your boulder, you kind of come up on it sideways, and as you get to it, you kind of kick around it. That's the best thing I can do when I'm like heading right for a boulder that I wasn't prepared to miss, because you have to be working towards missing the boulder before you get to it. And if you were distracted, or you were throwing a line, or you were messing with your camera and you look up and then there's like a boulder like 15 feet in front of you, it's like, oh, it takes longer than that to really move the boat. But this is a good river for me learning on. I did it once last year, the same thing, an overnighter, and didn't film it. This was basically when I started making videos, but yeah, I learned a lot. It's not too bad. It's a good river. It's not too high, so I don't think it's too dangerous at all. And you gotta start somewhere, right? That is hard to get out. Oh. Wow. That's the falls. So
basically the adrenaline pumping. If I were to kayak it, I almost feel like the easiest spot would be like to the island.
yeah,
I'd
by
stay
that
on this side of the island, but close to it, and go right through there.
pretty close to the island. It's the water's level.
Yeah.
But there's still that big
There's still a drop off.
You know, like backflow. I think you need to paddle hard to get through that. On the far side, it's really steep. That's no good.
Intense. I don't know how you would go right.
That's no good. And then this is like a rock boulder leading up to it.
I guess what
Boulder
you
here,
need to be
boulder
really
there.
careful of is, you see how there's like rock shelves right before it. You don't want to hit and get turned sideways, you know?
Yeah, that's why you're not floating, you're paddling straight, you're charging it. I don't know, that's tough.
The picture's not going to be any better.
Two footfalls. Woo! So how was the falls?
Pretty sweet. I was kind of nervous for it, but once you get in there and like the instinct just kind of kicks in. I had a plan to go further left than I did.
Yeah, me too. It just took you in.
You have to just go where the water takes you.
Yeah,
straight.
it took me where it took you. It was easy. You just went right over it.
Yeah.
It looks pretty intimidating, but pretty much just went right through it. All those big swells and stuff, you just smash through them. They don't really like throw your boat.
Yeah, you just can't go in sideways is the thing.
Yeah, you gotta keep it straight.
I wasn't planning to go so fast, but then I was in the current, so I was like, I had to commit.
Sweet.
So I have to eagle eye you, but the camera's pointing where my head's pointing.
Where John is engaged, right there. Same mindset.
Alright guys, that's it for the video. We're back at the truck. We got the kayaks packed up, all cleaned up. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing to the channel. I go out basically once a month, do camping and overnighters and all sorts of outdoor stuff. So